Morning all. Is it morning? I don't know. Yeah, it's 6 o'clock-ish on Thursday the 13th of May. And yeah, I'm still in my tent. Which is, so I'm warm and dry. The tent is fantastic and worked well, but it hasn't stopped this rain at all for about, well, at least 12 hours. 13 hours in fact, I've been here. And I've got to get to Sidmouth at least today, or beyond. I mean, once I'm up and I've got all the waterproofs on and I'm trudging, it's not so bad, but I don't know how I'm going to get packed up and ready to go with this still going on. I had sort of ideas about just lying here a bit until it gets a bit less heavy, but I don't think it's going to be ever. I think this is our weather now. I think this is the beginning. I was here at the start of the deluge. And our grandchildren will tell about the times when it wasn't raining, when there was a thing called the sun. So yeah, I've got to get packed up, which is fairly easy. Got to put all those wet waterproofs back on again, so they're only waterproof to an extent. They do soak over time, so that's going to be unpleasant. I mean, I'm quite warm and dry at the moment. I haven't slept that well because this is quite noisy. But yeah, put those boots back on, and then the difficult bit will be getting the stuff out of the tent and just leaving it lying in the rain while I dismantle the tent, which will also soak the inner and probably the inside as well. Will start to cool up with water again, because when the outer fly sheet is not on, this isn't terribly waterproof, so it does start to collect water. It takes me about half an hour to dismantle the tent and pack it up, usually, even in good weather. All the time it's going to all be being rained on, and my gear being rained on as well. Everything's in plastic bags inside my bags, so some stuff will stay dry, a sleeping bag and my electricals. Once that's all packed up and I'm back on again, wet rucksack on and wet clothes on and all the rest of it, I should be able to just start moving on. It's about 3 miles to Budley Salterton. I might be able to find a roof to stand under for a little bit there. Maybe some food, I don't know. And then I've just got to get on with it, really. Rain or no rain. I've got no signal here as well, so I can't look up the weather to find out what it's going to do, if this is going to let off or not. I was led to believe from stuff yesterday that it would have let up by now a bit, but frankly all weather reports are bollocks, I'm learning. It's entirely possible this rain will just continue for the next 2 days solidly with no let up, and that's the cards I've been dealt, I suppose. Weather-wise, it was always going to be one week, one of these hiking weeks, one of the weathers was going to be terrible, and this is the one, I guess. Not bad, 1 in 8 chance. Yeah, I probably had more luck than I deserve. Haven't slept too well, as you can imagine. Yeah. I could just lie here and hope it stops, but I don't know. I do need to finish this holiday at some point. Right, okay, stop recording now. Put the phone into its special waterproof pocket and probably not talk to you again until at least lunchtime. So, it might be a short episode, this one. So, it's 8:30. This is Budley Salterton, which is mostly closed. Looking for like ice cream or coffee or whatever. I ended up in the Tesco Express instead. I've quite gotten into these these chilled coffee milkshakes from the chiller cabinet because they're available, basically. Considering most coffee shops are either closed or, you know, serving at the end of a 10-foot pole to the far end of the garden or whatever. Oh, good romp there. You see out there, all that stainy sort of discoloration out there, that's all been washed out of the cliffs. It's quite red over on that end. The heavy rain that I've been experiencing is exactly the sort of thing that causes the cliffs to erode off. You'll see a lot of the cliffs around here don't have much growing on them because there hasn't been enough time. So yeah, something to watch out for. Another added tick in my difficulty list. I really have gone hard mode this trip. No hotels or B&Bs, tick. No restaurants or pubs serving indoors or cafes, tick. I've got a signal on the phone, looked up, and Met Office have issued a yellow weather warning from 4 o'clock this morning through to about 3 o'clock this afternoon for Devon. Yeah, been there, done that, slept through it. Seems to have almost stopped at the moment, so I'm going to probably head on after I've had a sandwich and things. But yeah, making some headways. The plan today, get to Sidmouth around lunchtime, find something to eat, hot meal maybe. And then just keep on trekking and get as far as I can towards Seaton, some sort of halfway point. I haven't worked out what's halfway between Seaton and Sidmouth yet, but and then I'm going to have to go for another night in the tent, unfortunately, because I just don't think I can push all the way to Seaton and still get a bus and train home today. So that's the plan. So this is my penultimate day. And I've got one more night in the tent to go. But then the day after that, I can just power on to Seaton and get on a bus, and that'll be that. But actually, perversely, I'm enjoying this. This feels like proper adventuring rather than just holidaying, you know? You see all these people out with their dogs walking to the nearest caravan park and back to the seafront and stuff. And I just reach that end of the cliff and I keep going. Yeah, they all turn around and go back to their holiday. I carry on trooping. I've got all the gear, and basically once I'm up and walking with all this on, it's all right. I get a bit hot, but you just have to regulate your speed. But I'm pretty waterproof once I'm up and going. I've got all the gear going. I mean, the tent's pretty muddy and wet now, so tonight's not going to be hugely pleasant, but hopefully I'll get a gap in the weather in which to erect my domicile. To getting flooded during the process. Like I say, once it's up, it's really good. No water gets in. It's really well designed, but that sort of 15-minute window when you've got the inner up, but the outer fly sheet not on and pegged up properly, and that's the kicker, because the inner's not very waterproof. It's not really meant to be. It's the outer fly sheet that's got the real waterproofing. So it's that window during which, if it's heavy rain, you'll get quite a few small puddles of water on the inside of the ground sheet, on the inner, which I have a towel, which I used to soak it all up last night, but of course that towel's soaked now and needs to dry before it can be used for that again, so tonight could be tricky. But yeah, despite all that, the constant loud drumming all night long, my legs did get enough rest to be quite powerful this morning. I don't know if I'm hardening. This does seem to happen in the last couple of days of a trip. Maybe it's just the prospect of it being over that gives me renewed hope. But yeah, it's good. So I've got a bag of snacks and stuff. It's been mostly orange Lucasade this trip, because no pubs have been doing lemonade on a pleasant garden or anything. And yeah, these like milkshake coffees that have a tremendous amount of sugar in, I'm discovering. Yeah. It's not a disaster. Getting quite a sense of, and just the anecdote kudos from all of this as well. Oh yes, I was out there in a yellow rain warning, blah blah blah, force 5 to 50 mile an hour. The wind's really dropped off actually. I mean, there was a bit. It seems to have swung around from the north now, but it's a lot less than it was at the beginning of the week. So the wind's not the problem; it's just the rain, I think. And that seems to have stopped briefly at the moment. So we've got a bit of a window. Gonna have my snacks, and I bought a bag for life because I'm discovering I can't get enough thick waterproof carrier bags at the moment, so that'll help compartmentalise everything inside there. That's the main thing. The backpack itself is not terribly waterproof, and that red thing, well, it can only take so much of a soaking before it starts to bleed through. So yeah, but inside everything is inside rugged carrier bags, which is the key, I think. Just bring more spare carrier bags next time, I think. Anyway, I'm going to have breakfast and then I probably ought to crack on. That's the pebbly buddly shingle. Not much of a beach here. Oh, this is unexpected, but certainly not unwelcome. Pretty much in the middle of nowhere here. This is the Brandy Head Observation Post. Sir Bennett Melville Jones, Gunnery Research, blah blah blah. Oh, there's a QR code as well. There you go, you might be able to actually scan that through your screen. Anyway, yeah, apparently you can stay here if you like, but with the right people. It's all boarded up and barred up inside, but that's fine. Apparently we're allowed to use the benches. Thank you. So I think that's Ladry Bay holiday park or something. So I don't know how much that means I've got left to go. Probably 3 or 4 miles to Seaton. Can we see Seaton from here? Oh look, clear skies. That's, no, not Seaton, is it? That's Sidmouth. Seaton's probably further out. That's lunch. And it's at what, 10:17 now, so that's doable. Seaton must be well round the end then. I don't know, I can't see it. I'm not subjecting the camera to any more rain than I need to. See, it's a camera, it's also my phone. It's quite a good one and it's got all my other stuff on it, so I don't really want to wreck it. Although my contract has run out, so I could get an even better one, I suppose. No, keep this one. Go for a sim-only contract, save some money. Get a new contract when this one breaks. So, yeah, it's been pretty relentless, huffing up that hill there in the rain. It's going places in my head, really. Trying to keep well to the left, because this exact weather is what causes that kind of cliff to collapse spectacularly. So I'm, always aware of that as well. Yeah, doing all right there. Hale and hearty. Doing surprisingly well. It's that sort of late week hardening that seems to set in on me. I mean, the sort of the early third of the week, around a third of the way through the week, I get to the physical despair point, but keep trucking on and your sort of body gives up trying to complain, which perhaps is a ticket to long-term health complications later, but who knows. Oh, yes, everything's pretty much sodden except this special bag I'm keeping the phone in, which came with pictures of people windsurfing on, so presumably it's one of these drop your phone in the sea type things. Oh, yeah. Good. Not a lot to say, really. I ought to do at least a bit of film every time I've got some roof, just so there's something to show for this day's episode. So yeah. So that's Sidmouth. Yes, that was Sidmouth. It looks like a bastard of a hill on the other side, then up and away. And I don't know, Seaton, I can't even see where it is. Hayes, whatever, like around the end. But basically, once I clear Sidmouth, I want to just get as far as I can, find somewhere suitable, drop the bag. Although I didn't manage to compress an entire day out of this week's itinerary, I could probably push forward for half a day, rock up to Seaton before lunchtime, and then just bug on out home, frankly. I mean, I've enjoyed it, of course, but quite looking forward to my bed now, my warm flat. Good. I don't want to sit around too long because it's wet and cold, not a good mixture. Get the bag back on, get moving again. That sort of defends me against the wind and the rain. It's my own internal body heat from exercising. On to another holiday park then. And whoever's in charge of Google ought to bloody well make sure that if the map's got a tent icon on it, they actually have tents. So many campsites I've seen on this trip are just static caravan places, basically. Camping in the sense that your tent is about the size of a small flat and can only be moved around on the back of a flatbed lorry. Right, okay. Seal up and move on, I think. So, welcome to Sidmouth. From the vantage point of my shelter on the shore. Did the whole Budley Salterton to here in pretty much one go. Really need to take a good hour-long rest or more, find some hot food or something. Hopefully there's something up that way. Just sitting here for a bit for the moment. And it's just not stopping raining. I'll check the weather in a minute, just for, you know, amusement's sake. More in a bit. I'm just going to sit here trembling for a bit. So I've given up. This is Honiton railway station. Oh god, this rain's relentless. I don't doubt ordinarily I could have managed another day and gotten this done the usual week, but it's just not stopping with the rain at all, and I've got no way to dry myself out, and it feels like the rain's leaked through to my skin layers, clothes and stuff, from the waterproofs, and I've got no way to dry anything. So another night in that tent, I don't know. The problem is when I stop, I getting really cold. I'm shivering a bit now. You can probably see me trembling holding the camera. Yeah, so I'm bailing. I got to Sidmouth, which was the last but one day stop. And don't worry, I'll go back and do the Sidmouth to Seaton day another time. Probably even bank holiday at the end of May. I might give it a go then, just so that we're all square for September for the next one. So yeah. I'm going to go and wait in that waiting room in there before I have difficulties. But yeah, that was, there's no point being stubborn for the sake of it. I've not really broken my rules, as long as I go back and finish that before I move on to the next step, which I will do another time. So I'm going to wrap it up there then, whilst I can still hold a camera. And I'll see you again soon for part 2 of week 7, which will be quite short. Alright, I'm leaving. I give up.